You. Hey, come here. Come here. Got something to tell you. Let me tell you about a game that I barely watched. Okay, it was a summer league game between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Phoenix Suns. And check this out. Check this out. Suns lost 82-73. Tumani Kamara, the guy that we've been watching and has brought some excitement to our lives as we watch these summer league games that we know none of them count. He didn't even fucking play. It was amazing. But I'll tell you what else is amazing. Matthew Lissey's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, John?
I'm good.
Doing
I'm
good over
good.
there. Thanks for the little secret over there.
I didn't want
The
to.
Suns game no one watched. John Nelson over here says most boring Suns game ever. Exactly. Yeah, just bits and pieces of it. And when Wembanyama's gone, then Toonami's going to actually be sitting out too.
Yeah, no Toonami Poppy tonight. No exciting basketball. I mean, there was a couple dunks in there, where I was looking down from watching TikTok and I'm like, oh, hey, something happened. Huh? Oh, cool. Let me see a replay. Oh, we don't do replays in summer. Okay,
Is there no replays?
I'll carry on. They're interviewing Frank Vogel and Eric Gordon again. It's like the fourth time
I saw
I've
that
seen
too. I'm
these
like, how many times have I seen it? Even Eric Gordon looks so disgusted by all the interviews.
He's like, you're fucking
like,
asking
I'm
the same questions you did yesterday.
I mean, this is the fourth day in Vegas. I'm hungover. Stop asking me stuff.
He's like, I just never left the arena. I'm sleeping under the bleachers.
Him and Vogel. And then every time you see even Isaiah Thomas too with Frank Vogel, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Yeah. He's with the organization, I'm sure. Who cares?
Yeah, guess what? Him and James Jones, they got like a secret handshake they show on the side. They're doing it's like they go to pound the fist like this, and one guy goes snail, and it looks like a snail, and you're like that's what they got going on. Isaiah, you're adorable with your previous allegations. Welcome to the Valley, bud. Yeah, just a summer league game, but you know what? This is the Suns Jam Session podcast, and post-game podcast is what we do, whether it's playoffs or regular season or preseason or even summer league, when you don't know any of the players who are playing and you'll never see them again, because anybody who could play for this organization didn't today. No Jordan Goodwin sat out his second consecutive game with a sore left knee, and no Tumani Kamara, who the coaching staff stated, or at least informed him, that he would not be playing on a back-to-back, because summer league, right? You don't want to hit them back-to-backs. They're starting load management early with that kid, huh?
Yeah, just 2 games in, and it's already over. I think everyone's kind of gone from Vegas, though, right? Like, the party's kind of over. The fun's over. There's one more game, I think, Friday, and then another game after that, maybe.
Yeah,
but
so
everyone's kind of done.
Friday is the last scheduled game, and then they go into like the tournament version of the summer league. So the Suns will play at least 5 games, 4 that are currently scheduled. I think we play, I want to say the Jazz on Friday. I could be wrong. And then we play either Saturday or Sundays when the tournament starts. But yeah, I mean, the big hubbub, if you will, occurred over the past 4 days. Victor Wembanyama already played, and they said that they're shutting him down. Yeah. Scoot Henderson played, and then he got injured, so they're shutting him down. And obviously, our MVP, the future rookie of the year, Tumani Kamara, who's come out and he's averaging 15 points a game for the Summer Suns. Tumani Kamara shut down.
There is a beat, right?
I have
behind that soon. Someone asked for it.
Yeah, somebody asked in the comments if I'm going to add a beat to that, and I'm trying to work it in there. It's kind of tough because the from Billy Madison is kind of it's kind of quiet, so you don't want
Jets, Benny and the Jets. I don't know. That's what it reminds me of.
And then we get copyright infringed. So I don't know. I mean, I actually have a nice beat all set up. I'm like, ooh, that's almost too good of a beat for a guy we'll never play. Like, I'm keeping that because I know. Obviously, hype, right? Well, the hype, and there's other guys on this team who I feel we're gonna play their drops more often, and you want to have the right beat to the right drop. There's one guy whose drop will not change.
She said you're not the only one, but you're the best, Bradley. Boom.
Mona, please sit back. But obviously it'll change in the graphic for those of you who watch the podcast. Obviously, there's a dunk that's occurring during that feature of him on the Wizards, and once we get some good footage of him doing it with the Phoenix Suns, that's going to change, but the audio isn't. Come get me, copyright people. I have it under 6 seconds, so you can fuck right off.
You're good there. Yeah, it's 6.5 seconds. That's all you have before they take your money away.
Before some algorithm shows up, and they're like, we're the algorithm police, and you've played Sublime for a little too long, sir.
Yeah.
So, Tumani Kamara, I will throw a beat behind that drop, but it'll be something subtle and nothing that I want to waste that really good beat that I found. on the internet, and it's a free beat. I like those free beats. So, but welcome everybody to the Suns Jam Session podcast. My name is John. His name is Matthew, and we're the Suns Jam Session guys. We go live after every Phoenix Suns game. Rain, shine, sun, sleet, hurricane.
Hurricane, tornado,
tornadoes.
Yep, tornadoes. Yep.
Yes, tornadoes. You know, like the Abdelnader tornado. You know, we'll go live even after that. So here we are in Summer League with a couple games to go. I'm excited to have Matthew back.
I know, right? It's just so weird. It's strange. The last time I was on, I think I was on for a minute. And I popped on, and
you
I was
randomly
like,
showed up like a ghost.
Like I was in an attic,
but you didn't respond for like 20 seconds.
Wait, is this working?
Suns Geek and I are sitting there and just like, Matthew, can you hear us? Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
I'm always here for like the best audio, you know.
I know.
And we're just waiting for that.
Well, we're always here for the best audio, and everyone can tell. Obviously, you know, a huge shout out to Suns Geek and the assistance that he's been providing us. But when Matthew gets on, I'm just a little bit more goofy, and I like to have more fun, and that's why we're the Suns Jam Session podcast.
I was actually hoping Suns Geek would be here tonight because I miss him. Well, I wasn't able to do this, so
well, you know, maybe I'll take a fucking couple weeks off.
I was gonna say
you guys can talk about some dumb shit.
There you go.
We'll talk about jerseys and whatnot. So we're gonna review this game a little bit for you, Jamsters, and we have some other questions. We reached out on Twitter and asked all of you out there in the Twitter sphere to give us something to talk about on this podcast. So thank you to all of you who follow us at Suns Jam on Twitter and decided to respond to that tweet. We will go ahead and discuss some of your questions. I got some questions for you as well, Matthew. So plenty to talk about on this edition of the Suns Jam Session podcast. Use our promo code Suns Jam when you're going to DraftKings. Boom. That's the read. You got to be 21 and older and call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Boom. I just hit the Cliff Notes, baby. Nothing but the Cliff Notes and nothing but some Diet Dr. Pepper for me right here. So, Matthew, I assume that you have a Scotch. Ooh, Starbs.
Yeah, you know, I forget the name. It is a green. Is it green frozen pineapple lemon? Pineapple paradise. Okay.
A pineapple paradise.
Pineapple paradise. That's what it is.
Ooh, we'll
delicious.
Crack open your pineapple paradises. I had a day, man. I got to tell you about my day. Cheers. To 73, the Phoenix Suns lose their second game in the Summer League out of 3 games. They're now 1-2 in Summer League, which of course brings me to my first question.
Matthew, I got to ask.
Matthew, I gotta ask, what was your favorite moment of this Summer League game?
Oh, when I turned it on, I was walking around Costco watching it, and I was like, wait, who are these guys? Yeah, did you? I've been there 2 times in the last 3 days, 4 days.
Me too.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a thing to do, I
guess. You know what
it's
like to go to Costco and have a full cart, and then you get home and your wife's like, oh, shit, we forgot this. When you're running errands tomorrow, can you go? I'm like, absolutely, sweetie. I can't wait to go back to Costco.
What'd you forget?
Kitty litter. And so what I did.
Oh my God. That threw me off.
But I was out running errands today. So I took the past few days off. I was supposed to be in Las Vegas for Summer League. Didn't end up going, but still took the time off from work. So I had the day off. And today was what I like to celebrate. It's an ancient holiday. It's Get Shit Done Day. So I was getting shit done all day. And part of my getting shit done is like, okay, I'm going to stop by Costco and I'm going to go get kitty litter. And I was thinking like the light kitty litter. So I didn't grab a cart. And the kitty litter's in like the far back corner of the store, right? So I go all the way to the back of the store. I pick up the kitty litter, and right there on the fucking package, it's like 42 pounds. And I'm like, great. I don't have a cart. I got to carry this all the way back to my truck. So I'm like carrying it on my shoulder, like kitty litter. So yeah, that's there you go. There's my Costco story.
That was a great story.
One of very
more entertaining than the actual game today.
Yes, another fun story that I had for you. I went and got my beard trimmed today. I go to V's Barbershop.
That's good. Maybe one day I can go there if I can get that far. I think I'm just going to kind of let it grow out here soon, like Devin Booker.
Yeah.
See where it goes. Go in there and be like, hey, fellas, make me look good. So sit on down, dude.
You're like, trim me up, please. Yeah. But one of the things when I was getting my my beard trimmed is my barber elderly lady. It's my first time going to the one up here at in the Desert Ridge area. I got a few. See how I got some zits going on my forehead, right in my hat line, right?
Hard earned, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's sweaty. It's that time of year. It's humid. It's hot. You sweat a lot. You know, when you wear a hat, you start to get some zits on your headline. And she goes, "I think that might be shingles." Like, cool. Thanks. She's like, "Have you been around anybody with chickenpox recently?" No, but I'll check that out. Put some Neosporin on. I'm like, just cut my beard.
But
shingles.
That's not true, right?
No, there's
Those aren't
zits.
shingles.
This happens all the time.
That freaked me out because that shingles is another world. That's not.
Yeah, she's like, well, she's like, if it starts burning and starts itching, I'm like, come back and tell you. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on here.
You're like, you're right, lady. You're right. Yeah.
Like, can we just finish it? And the worst thing about, obviously, for those of you who watch the podcast, I'm a bald dude. I shave my own head. I have for 20 years. Started losing my hair when I was about 19 years old. Thanks, Eminem. Dyed my hair twice. Started falling out right after there. So when you go and you get your beard trim, it's just like getting your hair cut, right? But the difference is these people want to still talk to you. But it's like you're talking to me while you're shaving or you're trimming the area that will be moving if I talk. And she was trying to have a full-blown conversation. I always just like close my eyes. Like, that's my way of telling you, just like, shut up.
I'm not talking to you without slitting my throat.
Yeah, like I'm like, don't slit my throat and don't tell me I have a medical condition like shingles. If I could just, I got 1 out of 2. She was
like absolutely sure about the shingle thing.
She was just like out of nowhere. She's just like, shingles. I'm like, what? I'm like, I got some zits, bitch. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we all get them. You might as well get it over with right now.
I guess.
Just say shingles. Trick your mind. Maybe your mind will be like, we already had shingles. Don't worry about it in your 60s.
Yeah, but like William Shatner, he talks about shingles, and apparently there's medicine out there for it. She recommended Neosporin. I was like, okay, I don't know. Okay. So the game today, the Suns played. The only real highlight that I had from this entire game is coming off of the bench. Hunter Hale went 7 of 13 from the field, 6 of 12 from beyond the arc, scored 21 points off the bench. He wore number 77, and he just reminded you of everything that could have been had we drafted Luka Doncic.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, is he wearing it because he has Luka's game? The 77. That's just an interesting number to choose now because the reason that people do it because of Luka. But still an ugly look, right? I can't get used to the 77. Too big.
I actually thought it looked okay.
You really? What?
I thought it looked okay.
Okay, all right.
Just throwing it out there. I saw the kid was out there, but
a little easy on your eyes then.
Little easy. I mean, it's a summer league jersey, so I don't know. So says Jay in the chat. Those look like shingles to me.
Another doctor in the house.
Well, when he's a lawyer, when your lawyer recognizes shingles, they're just zits, dude. Like, it's right on my line.
Well, next time save the whiteheads that we can pop in here.
Yeah,
prove everybody wrong. After a summer league game, what else are we gonna do?
I'll take them to the lab to get analyzed. Espo's burner, Matthew, you handsome motherfucker. Matthew got that jawline.
Got my name wrong, but thank you for the compliment.
T.O. new segment, barber trauma. It's not a bad idea.
That is, once I start going.
Doctor of the law, so says Jay says. He's a doctor of the law. He's got that PhD, play hating degree. Aaron, are we getting a G League team this season?
Yes.
I know it's something that Matt Ishbia has definitely referenced, and I'm sure there's a lot of levers behind the scene that need to be pulled before they announce it. But I assume so, considering we're the only team that doesn't have it. And if we did, that'd make watching these summer league games a little bit more enjoyable. You'd be like, hey, I like this Trey Jemison guy. Maybe they should put him on their G League team, but we don't have one. Do you think we will get one?
Yeah, and then also you can have your credentials back for next year because maybe it'll matter a little bit more to have you there because this team's going to be so good in the future for the next 4 or 5 years. You're not going to be able to go, right, John?
I don't know. I feel
unless we have a G League team.
I feel like SB Nation owes me one. They pulled it off.
They do owe you one.
They pulled it off the table at the 11th hour. I had to cancel my reservations for Vegas, and I understand why. SB Nation gets a certain amount of credentials. I applied for them. I got them, and then they're like, oh, by the way, we actually got one less than we thought we did. And your number one pick is the 52nd pick in the draft. We'd prefer that a guy who is lottery bound goes there. I'm like, hey, no big deal. You saved my marriage. So,
but all those Eric Gordon interviews, though. right?
No, and
That's
I
worth
wasn't
it.
I wasn't there to have them, and that's I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't get the chance to
Everyone was
ask him
there.
the real
Everyone had a
questions. Be
chance.
like, Eric Gordon, I got a question for you. Your
Shingles or
head,
zits?
are these shingles or are these zits? Your head, Eric Gordon, like, is it just smushed just a little bit and it's a little wider than it is tall? Just
Do you
tell me
look like
about
a
that.
worm? I call him Big Worm. That's my nickname for him.
Big worm. Yo, what up, big worm?
Looks like a
So
worm.
which brings me to my next segment. Speaking of big worms,
Jam star of the game.
Matthew, who's your jam star of the game?
Mr. Hash himself, 6 for 12 from the field or from the 3-point line, sharpshooter out there, was the only real highlight tonight, right? If you're actually watching the game, and
Who
if
the
you're also
fuck is
just looking,
Hash?
isn't it? His last name's Hash, right?
No, it's Hail. It's Hunter Hail, like a hailstorm. Don't worry, we can just cut all this out.
No, you can't.
No,
Keep that in.
We won't.
Well, his name's
So-
Hash now. All right, I
Okay.
changed it. All right?
Hunter Hash, way to
Mr.
go, Hunter
Hash.
Hash. 3 claps for Hunter Hash. Way to go. I agree. 21 points for Hunter Hash coming off of the bench. Looked really impressive out there. No filter for that guy. He just chucked it up, and he was making, about 50% of them. So very well done by him. Looking at the other side of the ball, if you look at the New Orleans Pelicans, they had Dyson Daniels out there, 10 points, 8 assists. He is going to play in the big league squad for New Orleans. Did you see Zion? Zion was there. I think he took up 3 seats.
No, I didn't see him.
Oh,
What's
they
he
showed
doing
him a
there?
couple.
Just hanging out, getting drunk?
He was just watching there, just like questioning himself. So he had everyone else was kind of laughing, having a good time. Zion was sitting there, just like you could tell he's just like thinking of his Twitter feed. He's just like, damn these women.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually is at a Pelicans game because his whole agenda is to actually get out of there, right? That's his whole agenda. He needs to get out of New Orleans.
Yeah,
That
he
doesn't
just
help
wanted to
his
go
case.
party in Vegas.
Yeah, that doesn't help his case at all. You got to get out of there. Go to a different game. Go to New York. Go watch the Knicks. There you go. If you want to go to New York.
He's hanging out in Vegas. He's like, they got a team here, right? Can I just please be here instead of New Orleans? He was walking around just handing out his business card to people, like, trying to get hired. I don't know if he knows it's how it works. It's like, that's not how it works. You don't just he put his business card in those things at the buffet where you just put it in. It's like you could win a free dinner. That's what
he's doing.
He was at Harrah's trying to get free buffet dinners with his business card. It just said Zion on it. Didn't even have contact information. So even if he won, he wouldn't have had the ability to get contacted to come back and get his free buffet.
Yeah. What an experience though out there in Vegas. I mean, I was watching a lot of what the PHNX crew were doing out there.
Yeah.
That just looks like a lot of fun. It's something that we both had to experience.
We got to go next year, man.
Yeah, we have to. I feel like
we were going to go this year. Like,
just didn't work out.
Just didn't work out. Just
next
like
year
me,
we got
doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of like seeing what PHNX did. It was fantastic. It hurt my feelings because I wanted to be there so bad. I'm like, I could have photobombed like 3 of those things, or they would have like, yo, Void, get the fuck away from us, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're SB Nation now. You're the
like, I'm good for
managing
content.
editor. I'm like, yeah, I'm a content creator, guys. Like, I'm great at crop dusting. I will put some smiles on your face as I crop dust you.
Yeah.
I'd be like, get us on the top of Caesar's Palace and roofie us all. Be a good time. Be a good time for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, just I'd be the one who ends up sleeping up there. So, a couple questions that we have. First and foremost, I'll ask you this question, Matthew, because I haven't had a chance to answer you or ask you these questions. Did you listen to the broadcast?
I did not.
Oh,
well,
so
parts of it. I mean, I heard the voices. Are we just talking voice?
Yeah, I mean,
PJ
Carlissimo was calling the game tonight, and he sounded like he was pounding a pack of Marlboro Reds.
I heard that. I'm like, oh, excuse you, sir.
Yeah,
that's save that for me on the pod. A little bit of phlegm in the throat.
Yeah. Too much Kamara. New rule changes in the NBA. We have the extra challenge and the flopping technical. What are your thoughts on those?
The flopping one, that's going to take a little while to actually implement, right? That's going to take some time. You think there's going to actually be more injuries with that rule now because everyone's going to be so cautious and careful? I mean, the reason they're taking away is because of injuries, right? Or just because as a fan,
they're tired of the bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. As a fan, we're tired of the bullshit.
Yes.
But also a lot of the guys out there talking about injuries because of them falling on legs. But now it's like if they're watching themselves and it's the first year, they're too cautious out there and they actually haven't practiced it because these guys practice the charge all the time. They're professionals at it. Now it's going to be a different world. So it's interesting to see. I'm actually excited for it though, right? Aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm really excited to see how LeBron James reacts to this because
There you go.
he's the
Yep.
guy who gets sniped more than anybody in the NBA. And it's going to be really awkward for him when somebody comes near his face, but they're still 6 inches away, for him to grab his eye, fall down for 45 seconds, and then look to the cameras to see if they're recording him at the right angle. So it's going to an interesting wrinkle for us to observe this upcoming season.
It'll be good
but
for
I
his
think it's a good
documentary.
thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be great for the doc. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
man. Because they're going to get all the right angles that make it look like he actually got poked in the eye. He's going to position. He's going to be like, dude, I fucking told you to be 20 feet that way, bro. Now so get this guy out of here. I need a new producer. The way that I understand it, it's not going to be something they're always going to call in action, if you will. It could be like a dead ball thing. So let's say that I drive down court, right? And then I drive by you and you flop real quick, right? And they don't call it. And then, the play continues. I score my 2 points. You get the ball, you come down. Next dead ball, they could actually take a look at the tape. And if they see that you're flopping, they're going to hit you with the tech.
Yeah. Too many reviews. It's kind of like that breakaway foul thing.
But it's commercial,
right?
break, so it's not a
Commercial break. Okay,
not
perfect.
a dead ball. It's a dead ball thing. It's not an in action like what you're talking about, the breakaway, which I still love. And
I like that too, but they should just call it and be over with it.
Yeah,
There
they should
shouldn't
call
be
it
a
like
review at
boom.
all.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like, hold on, it's like offsides in soccer. You're like, where exactly was the guy? They need to dude, you can't do that technical foul like they do in the Olympics, right? They don't review it in the Olympics. So I think it's kind of the same thing in this instance. But the other one that I'm excited for is the fact that there's going to be a second challenge. I think that's so needed in the NBA.
Makes sense. The one challenge was kind of ridiculous. You got to save it for like the last 40 seconds. And that was always something, that was always a topic on every podcast. Every post-game pod here, jam session, was Monty holding on to his challenge, never using it, and then using it in the wrong spot.
I don't know if he knew he had them.
You know what? That's going to be a conversation going into next year when we actually have Vogel out there. Like, you know what? I don't know if Monty would have actually done that in that situation because Vogel's actually going to be coaching out there.
Ever since I've been here, we talked about everything you want is on the other side of hard. This is hard.
Monty Williams, coach of the Phoenix
Detroit Pistons. Look at that edit on the fly. I think that's a great point. We're really going to do a lot of contrast next season.
We're going to be very happy with Vogel.
I think
I mean, I get pumped up seeing him. Like, they had those billboards, right? It was Durant, Beal, and Booker, and then Vogel, not Ayton. You know what I mean? So we're very excited about Vogel here in Phoenix. It is kind of sucky to see not having Ayton on there, but, that's a thing that
Vogel's
we're kind of
like,
used to.
Vogel's Ayton's advocate. So I think he's like,
he's just Obi-Wan?
He is. No, that's a Padawan.
Padawan, my bad.
Yeah. Advocate. Like, he's the one who's advocating for him. So he's going to sit there and be like, listen, I'll be on the posters. The other thing is maybe the marketing team's like, listen, the 15th is coming up, right? That's going to be a big day for all the DA stands out there, right? Like, that they're all counting down to the 15th because that's when DA can no longer veto a trade, right? It was the 15th of last year is when they matched, and part of them matching the Indiana Pacers max offer was he had the ability to veto any trade for a year. So the 15th, I think it's the 14th is when the whole DA trade happened, right? Or not trade, but matching his max offer. I know exactly where I was the moment that notification come on. It said the Suns have matched DA's.
Yeah, they matched it instantly. Yeah,
and it was the 14th.
They're waiting for that date
of July last year. Mm-hmm. So the 15th is when you could actually technically trade. So DA stands are counting down like, okay, the 15th. Can we survive the 15th? Or we're gonna have to go find a whole new fan base.
What was the fallen founder? He was out there tweeting about, Pascal Siakam, close to a trade, bringing him to Phoenix. I don't know who his sources are, but if he's watching right now, can you just call in, leave a comment? Yeah. Equipment manager, my bad.
Equipment manager, fallen
leave us a
founder.
comment. Let us know what's actually going on. Yeah, that was actually pretty interesting. Pascal Siakam on the Suns, but I don't know. I don't know if I can believe him or not.
Well, I'm still, as I've said over the past few podcasts that you may or may not have been present for, I am really excited to have DA this season. And I referenced it in the last podcast. I go, just like Matthew says, here we go. DA,
Here we go again.
He's getting us excited again. That
Took
son
2
of a
days.
bitch.
2 days in the offseason where we're just like, woo, let's go, DA. Come on, you got it, baby. Another
Come
Aiden
on,
watch.
man.
Can't get
Come
rid
on.
of that.
Never. It's the best segment. Taking a look at some of the Twitter responses and questions that we received from our jamsters out there. Again, thank you for replying and following us and all that fun stuff. This one's from @Boods83. That's a dumb name. With the salary cap restrictions we will face next season.
Was it
and our
boobs?
Boods?
Oh, Boods. Okay.
Boods
I don't know what that
Boods
means.
83?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of a dumb name. I don't know who
Sorry,
that is.
continue.
83, like talk about like
You're
world
born,
heavyweight. Right? No, not me. Gross. Ew. 83. Ew.
Is that your burner?
No, it's Boyd from the fucking Aussie Suns fan podcast. That's why I'm giving him shit. With the salary crap. With the salary crap restrictions we will face next season and our lack of bird rights with all of our minimum contracts recently handed out, who do you predict will play themselves into a better contract elsewhere next offseason, Matthew? That's a good question.
That is a good question. You want to go first?
Yeah, I think there's like 4 guys who could potentially do this, and that's what my fear was this upcoming offseason or this previous offseason. I thought Damian Lee was going to go get more money elsewhere. I thought Josh Okogie was going to go get more money elsewhere. And for those of you who know who John Hollinger is, he's got that boards metric that he puts together. It's BORD with a $sign boards. And essentially what it does is it takes free agents and says what their real market value is. And both of those guys graded a lot higher than the veteran minimums in which they got. So there's 2 things at play here. And one is both of those guys know staying with Phoenix, you have an opportunity to win a championship as well as be a contributor to that championship team. There's a lot of guys who've signed veteran minimum deals to be fringe players on good teams. And at least in the past they have. And they end up being the 15th, 14th, 13th guy, break glass if necessary kind of guy. Whereas with Phoenix, due to our top-heavy roster construction, these guys are going to be valuable pieces to this team and have an opportunity to win a championship. And they're both young enough. Josh Okogie much more than Damian Lee, because I think Damian Lee's 30 or 31, but he's already won a championship. That this season and what they put on tape could ultimately garner them more money in the future. So I think that Josh Okogie is one who's going to play himself into a higher contract next offseason. I think Yuta Watanabe is another guy. If he comes out and he plays anything like he did in Brooklyn on the stage that he's going to play here in Phoenix and the exposure he's going to get. And I think Keita Bates-Diop. I think it's another guy who has an opportunity to potentially start for this team, showcase his versatility and his value to the market. And when the opportunity comes, he can bounce. Now, all these guys are on player options next year, which is part of the reason why Phoenix brought them in on minimums. Like, listen, we'll get you in here on a minimum contract, but you have a player option so you can choose to be here. If you have a bad year, if you get injured, now it's on you to stay here. So those are my 3 guys. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, the Josh Okogie thing's interesting because I feel like he's a guy where the Suns would usually just replace, get someone else, another defender, maybe pay less for him. But the fact that they brought him back and he's going to prove himself again, maybe even be the 5th starter, that's going to give him the real opportunity for next offseason to make a lot of money. I can see that happening just because I am a huge fan of his, but his game's going to continue to develop. And I think when he does start knocking down those threes from the corner, he's going to be getting a lot of money, man. The defense and the corner threes, that's going to be huge, man. Watanabe's a good one too. That's a guy that could kind of work into the starting rotation. I can kind of see that. He plays so well next to KD. Obviously, we know that. But also just a guy that's he's very confident. I think a lot of these guys are high IQ, but I think that's just going to he's going to stand out so much this season. It's hard to really just pin down one player to be excited about. It really is. But he is probably the one I'm most excited to watch out there with the Suns. Obviously, if we're talking about Josh Okogie, but we already know what he can do. It's just Watanabe, you just haven't seen what he can do yet. And he's going to do a lot more for the Suns this season than I think people really predict.
Well, and I think the other side of this that's challenging is with the new CBA and with the new roster construction, this was the first opportunity for somebody like Josh Okogie to kind of hit the market. And teams probably weren't willing to pay what his market value per John Hollinger was of $9.3 million. They're probably like, damn, he's a good player, but like $9.3 million, times 3 years. So we're giving this guy a 3-year, $27 million contract. I just don't know if I want to do that. And so I think that his agent probably was asking around, seeing what his market value was, and it wasn't as high as he probably saw. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to a place where I fit into the system, where Frank Vogel's going to highly value what I do. And hopefully this time next year, teams have a better understanding of how they want to allocate their money as it relates to the salary cap. And therefore, I'm going to be the one who pays for that or gets paid for that.
Yeah. I think the defensive thing too is huge because a lot of these guys coming in, not a lot, but a few of them, they're, kind of questionable defensively. But I think just with Frank Vogel there to actually implement it and just make sure that these guys play some defense, that's going to be big for teams in the offseason to see these guys like, hey, Andy plays defense. That's always a big factor in this. And you're going to see a lot of these guys kind of turn into decent defenders on this team.
I completely agree, and I can't wait to see it. And I wish the season started next week. Another question coming in.
I know. I wish a jersey was released. Yeah.
So do you know the cadence on the jerseys? What's going to happen there?
No. But I did see like the newest versions they're throwing out there, which looks sick.
Yeah.
Those
So it's these that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, but not those ones.
No, psych. You're talking about these, right?
Those are beautiful, right there. Yeah.
I
like those. No, actually, there was some other ones too, where like the white actually has more color. The white.
You mean like these?
There they are.
Those are the winners, dude.
Yep,
if those are new fucking jerseys, dude, take my money. Those are beautiful.
They are perfect.
They're perfect, right?
Every which way, everything they pop. They're so crisp. They're gonna look good on the dudes. Like maybe you put Phoenix in there for the purple instead of the Suns. Maybe. But I think they're brilliant.
Yes, that's what. Not these.
Those ones suck.
Those are horrible. Yeah. It's funny how just they're the same jersey, but with a little bit of color. Mm-hmm. And it's just those listening.
They look nice.
Those listening, just I hope you fast forwarded through that. Because these? How about these? What do you think about these? Everyone listening is just driving to work and they're like,
I can't see.
I can't see.
They're looking at their stereo.
Next question from to Utah. On Twitter at Steve Sanders 600. What's your way too early prediction for the Suns playoff rotation?
Well, too early. I'm gonna go. Let's go to Josh Okogie. Let's throw him in there. You got rotation though. Do I have to go deep into the bench?
No, just give me the starting five.
Yeah, throw Okogie in there. We're going to have Booker's going to be his point guard. Beal's going to be playing the 2. Kogie's going to be the 3. KD and I guess DeAndre Ayton, might be the most improved player this year. I'll take that lineup.
I'm going to just say it's based on matchup.
What'd you touch your nipple for? What was that?
I just kind of faded away.
Oh,
and you were
let me take the stage. Okay. Hear what I got to say. Who you got,
Matthew, tell me more. I think it's based on I think it's based on the matchup. I mean, if we're playing a team like the Clippers, I think he would. He's a defensive guy, and he's going to take advantage of defensive matchups. Let's say we get the Clippers in the first round, a smaller team that likes to play 5 out. I think Okogie is in there 100%. Let's say that we're going against a team like, let's just say the Nuggets, a bigger team, right? I think KDB is in there with Ayton at the 5 and KD at the 3. That's just my way.
It's so beautiful. Early. Maybe we're not done. It's a long offseason. Might be another dude.
What else do we got on Twitter? Okay, so we did at Steve Sanders 600s. We did at Bodes 83, worst year ever. Scott Lacey at Scott Lacey. Real question, honest response, please. Okay, okay, you set the premise. Okay,
I'm always a serious person. Come on.
What will happen first? Suns will win a title. Or the team implodes, injury and/or personality, and Book and KD are traded because we're stuck with the no trade clause of Beal. Championship or imploding like a star?
Yeah, I'm gonna say optimistic. Excuse my stutter there. Let's go championship. I'm gonna say that's gonna happen. And we can always talk about the injuries and all that. That sucks. That's the Suns' way, right? But I'm gonna go championship. I'm really feeling this year. I really am right now. I absolutely am, and I hope you're with me on this one, John.
So, Scott Lacey said, honest answer, please. I agree with you.
I'm honest. Yeah.
I agree with you because I'll say this. If the Suns don't win a championship in the next 2 years, the team will move resources around with an owner like Matt Ishbia to continue the run. So you talk, because again, if the question was like, what's going to happen first? The Suns will win a title with this team or they won't win a title with this team. Well, then I could probably say, odds are that they are not going to win the title, but it was the specifications that they would implode due to injury and or personality, and Book and KD are traded because we're stuck with the no trade clause of Beal. No, I think that if it doesn't work in the next couple years, KD's on, at the back end of his contract. Some team will trade for his value at about 37 years of age. We'll bring something back, and we'll have an opportunity to try to build again and again and again. Like when you have somebody like Matt Ishbia,
endless.
You're going to continue to compete because the guy's going to want to compete. So I think that the odds are more likely that we're going to win a championship before there's any implosion with these players. I really, really think that. So Creepy Crawler thinks that your jawline is looking chiseled today too.
It's a thing
Matthew,
today, huh?
Yeah, what's going on with the jawline, man?
I just lost a lot of weight, I think,
Jeez, I've gained it all. It's giving me the shingles.
No, it's because I'm flexing it,
Matthew's been chewing a lot of gum.
I've been chewing chewing on some stuff.
He eats some peanuts every now and then. No corn, though. No corn. No corn in the diet.
Sometimes. Yesterday, yes. A little bit.
No corn on the cob. That's it for questions. Before we get out of here, Matthew, what are you watching? What are you up to these days? You watching anything good?
Oh, you know what? I am watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Actually, it's just called Queer Eye now. The new one on Netflix. It's been around for a while. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love that show.
I've been
watching it. It's hilarious. Jonathan on there is fucking.
My wife and my daughter watch it. My brother watches it. I haven't sat down and watched it.
No, it's good. Yeah.
But every time I walk through the room and I stop and I watch a few minutes, it's hysterical. It's just like, I know that I'm the person that they would come in and try to remake, and I would hate it.
Yeah. Well, I don't watch it. I watch it with my girlfriend. I watch it by myself. But it's a great show. We laugh our ass off. We actually started watching the other night, Seventh Heaven. I guess I don't go out there and search for anything. So
you mean Dee and Dennis's dad?
Dee and Dennis's dad. Oh yeah.
Their dad's on Seventh Heaven. He's like a creep, isn't he? Like a petty.
He is, yeah, and I've been over that a few times.
Okay.
He is, so it's kind of hard to watch. He's giving a
young
lot of
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, he cries a lot, but
yeah, he does.
We all know why he's actually crying.
There's always a lesson. I used to watch the shit out of Seventh Heaven, middle school. Man, there's always like some lesson. It's
pretty good.
You stole something, you're going to jail. You're like, what? It was just I borrowed somebody's pencil.
Yeah.
What would God want?
What are you doing? Are you playing 2K? What's going on over there?
No, I haven't been playing any 2K. Obviously, been writing a lot for Bright Side of the Sun. We're watching.
Yep, and I will be writing this week for sure. I will be back on there.
Is It Cake 2 on Netflix?
Is It Cake 2? What is that?
So, Is It Cake is a show where they have to bake something to look like that made out of cake, but has to look like a real object. And it's hosted by Mikey Day from SNL. And it's a really good show. I'm watching this other baking show hosted by Joel McHale, who used to host The Soup and was on Community, and it's on Fox. It's called what's it called? It's like Crime Scene Crime Scene Cakes or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid. Yeah, there's a room where somebody just baked. You have to go in and you have to look at the clues, and different teams look at the clues. Then they have to guess what was made there, then recreate it. And if they get it right, they win, right? So it's like, hold on,
cool.
There's coconut ice cream here. It was a Boston cream pie. Like it's pretty fun. So
anything with cake. It's always good.
Yeah, the baking shows are great.
Is usually good.
I just sit around and be like, I want some cake.
You watch it with the wife, my sister over there?
Oh, yeah.
Just snuggle up and watch it?
Yeah, we snuggle up and watch it. I'm like, I have the sciatic nerve. I started listening to a new podcast today. So I had a hell of a day off. So I had to go to my buddy's house, and I had to, he's out of town, so I'm watching over his pool. So I go and I change the chlorine once a week. I take off my shirt while I net the pool just so the neighbors get the full effect of me being a pool boy. And then I had to go to I had to stop by work and get some paper because we're printing new menus for tomorrow. Then I went to FedEx and I realized I didn't have enough paper, so I had to drive back to work. While driving around, my all of a sudden, like my alert goes off my car. It's like tire pressure low. So I got a screw right in my tire.
This always happens to you guys.
So
you guys and your tires out there, man.
It's hot as fuck too. So I go to discount to get it checked. Like, dude, you got a screw. Do you want to just hang out for a couple hours and get it done? I'm like, I'm not walking home. Shit, it's my only vehicle here. So got that done. And like I mentioned, I got my beard trimmed and told I had shingles. And then I had to carry the 42-pound cat litter. I feel like one other thing happened. But what was fun is while I was driving around, did you listen to the most recent Bill Simmons podcast?
No.
Damn, you normally are on top of this stuff. So he mentioned very briefly in the podcast, he was talking about David Spade and how he can own a room, right? And how David Spade, he's like, yeah, that one podcast with David Spade and Chevy Chase is on it. And so I looked it up, and there's a podcast called Fly on the Wall podcast with Dana Carvey and David Spade. And I love SNL. I'm an SNL person. You know that. I watch everyone, even to this day, the shitty ones. I'm like, this sucks, but I still watch it because every now and then you'll do this. You go, so that's worth it for me. So I found their podcast, Fly on the Wall, and it's David Spade and Dana Carvey, and they're interviewing just all kinds of people, right? Chevy Chase, Rob Lowe, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, all their SNL guys. So I found that podcast today. So that was the highlight of the day. Then I came home and I threw a bunch of shit in bulk trash.
That's good. Actually, it's nice to find pods that way. And David Spade he's hilarious. I used to listen to the Norm Macdonald podcast, and he was a guest on there, and it was probably the best one. Yeah, he's incredibly hilarious.
He's just really quick, like
he
funny
is
humor.
always. Yeah, I mean, he has to be, man. He's little. I think. Well, today was actually my beautiful niece's birthday, Evie. So we actually went out
7-Eleven.
To Urban Air. She wanted to go to Burger King for her birthday lunch. So we went there, and that was a lot of fun. It was just super hot. Everyone's just like exhausted the whole day.
Yeah, like the cloud coverage was there this morning. So it's just
muggy.
Humid today. It's just gross. So it's like 110, but like 27% humidity. And to those who are listening, where you have humidity and you know what that's like, 27% for us is like excruciating. I'm used to 10% humidity in a $1.15. Like I could do that all day, but you throw the clouds over this morning, man.
Different animal.
It was different animal.
Yeah,
it gave me shingles.
That's what caused it.
I got them goddamn shingles right there. Those are not shingles, are they?
We'll have to. Oh my god, man!
Those aren't shingles; they're zits. What do you think, Jamsters?
Can we get out of here? I don't want to see anything else on your body.
You know,
I don't want to see anything else.
And for my next trick, and then I watched Interstellar yesterday, and I haven't seen that movie in quite some time. It's a good movie. Anything Christopher Nolan makes is good. Yeah, so, on that note, Jamsters, we'll go ahead and shingle on out of here. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review. Head to brightsideofthesun.com and read some of the words I write. Tomorrow, I have a piece coming out on the uniforms and what my thoughts are on all these different iterations that we're seeing and bringing up on the screen right now. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you follow me at Darth Voida. Make sure you follow the show at Suns Jam on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and on Threads as well. And Matthew, tell them about yourself. How are your what's your medical situation over there?
My medical situation?
Yeah.
Herpes. Oh, yeah, go home and love your family.